And it's huge.
It's so big. It looks so much closer in person.
Yeah, my camera doesn't do, it looks like a spaceship, right? Like that doesn't look like a drone, right? That looks like a spaceship. It's like a small plane. It really is like a small plane.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
We still have no answers as to what in the heck these things are that are flying in the sky over New Jersey. They're being described as drones, but they're also being described as being the size of a car or a minivan. These aren't your daddy's drones. These aren't your kids' drones. These are military-grade drones, if these even are drones, because at the end of the day, as far as we know, they haven't been shot down. They haven't been tracked down to wherever they're taking off from. And that's the weirdest part of the story to me, because I feel like this should be such an open and shut case. You got the FBI and the U.S. military on the case. How about you follow these drones until they land? And then whenever they land, hey, you know what I mean? I feel like it should be so simple. But somehow they're evading the U.S. military and the FBI. In fact, reports are that these drones are following FBI agents home. The same FBI agents that are on the case investigating these drones are now being followed back to their homes and harassed by flying objects in the sky. Really weird, really wild stuff. But the one thing they keep saying is that these drones pose no threat to the public. And I'm just going to be blatantly honest with you folks. How do they know that? Do you think these things are flying over our military bases for our health? Do you think they're flying over New Jersey every night just to make your life better? No, they're not. And they say, oh, if one of these things crashes, don't approach it, don't touch it, don't go near it. But supposedly these things don't pose a threat. Obviously, they pose a threat, folks. And if they don't know what they are, then how can they say that they don't pose a threat? We don't know that. Now, these drones aren't flying around and, freaking laser beaming people from the sky. I get it. They haven't done any harmful things yet, but I don't think they're here for a good reason. And now we know that they're disrupting certain things going on in New Jersey, including one helicopter that was flying to a car crash that couldn't land, that couldn't even go do its job because these drones are stopping medical helicopters from flying around the city. It's really weird, wild stuff. Let's go ahead and dive into this article. Mystery drones flying over New Jersey kept helicopter from taking patient to a hospital. The mysterious New Jersey drones being investigated by the FBI recently kept a medevac helicopter from transporting a seriously injured patient to the hospital. The medical helicopter was flying to an accident in Branchburg Township in Somerset County on Tuesday last week, but was unable to pick up the crash victim due to drones hovering in the landing zone. 2 security officers from Raritan Valley Community College closed roads to secure the crash site in preparation for the helicopter to land, Brian Surge, supervisor of security at the public college, says. But the request was canceled by the local fire captain just before 7 p.m. due to the hazardous presence of drones. We never found out what the drones actually were. It's kind of a mystery. We were asking around about that, but nobody knew anything. This comes after a flurry of other drone sightings have been happening over the past 2 weeks in central New Jersey, not far from President-elect Donald Trump's Bedminster golf course. The drones have been spotted hovering in groups for hours in the vicinity of the Raritan River on a nightly basis as of late. One woman claimed she saw up to 5 of the mysterious aircraft buzzing overhead on Sunday night. The Federal Aviation Administration has issued 2 temporary flight restrictions over Morris and Somerset counties following multiple reports of the unusual aircraft activity in the airspace over Trump National Golf Club, Bedminster, as well as a U.S. Army hub in nearby Dover, New Jersey. The FAA said it received reports as far back as November 18th about the drones. The FBI requested the restrictions out of an abundance of caution, an agency spokesperson said. The restrictions will remain in effect until December 26th. The FBI has also asked witnesses to send in photos they've captured of the drones to its office for further review. So the FBI is out here asking people, hey, if you have photos and videos of these drones, send them to us. We need all the photos and footage that you guys got for our investigation. And I feel like if you put me on this case, I feel like I could find out very quickly where these things were coming from. So is there a reluctance to really track these things down from their place of origin? Are there certain restrictions, you know what I mean, that are stopping the military and the FBI from going in certain places, flying certain places, and doing certain things? I don't know. Or are these things just that evasive to the point that they can not only dodge local police, they can dodge the FBI, and they can dodge the military? You know, because when you see these things just flying and hovering in the sky, you don't think that, oh, this thing could dodge a fighter pilot, but maybe it could. I don't know. I honestly do not get it. But we are at a point where, and I'm sure there's more stories like this one, we're at a point now where we're hearing about how these things are disrupting everyday life in New Jersey. Now, out of all the places you could be flying in New Jersey, why are you flying in this area where this medical or medvac helicopter needs to land? And that makes you wonder, are these things there purposely to disrupt life? Are they there purposely to disrupt, the city? That's one thing. That's like next level warfare. And when I tell people about World War III, and when I talk about World War III, I always mention things like this. We're not going to see the conventional warfare that we're used to from the past. We may see things like this. Cyber attacks. There's going to be a hell of a lot of drones. And yeah, just simply going into a city and disrupting their flights, disrupting their medical helicopters, disrupting traffic and random things like that, it could cause confusion. It could cause loss of life. So I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm just wondering, what is really, really going on? Because at least in this situation, it seems like almost as if there was an effort to disrupt this helicopter from landing in this area to pick up these people who needed to desperately be transported to the hospital very quickly. So if they're disrupting things like that, I wonder what else is going on that we don't know about yet. You know what I mean? But all in all, this is one of the biggest mysteries of 2024 as we close out the year. And it feels like a mystery that should be able to be solved very quickly. And the fact that it hasn't been solved quickly is very concerning because it makes you wonder, what are these drones actually capable of? It just, like I said, I could say it 1,000 times. It really confuses me how the U.S. military and law enforcement and FBI, with everything they have at their disposal, they supposedly can't figure out what these things are. And the FBI agents who are investigating the case are supposedly being harassed by these same very drones that are now flying back to where they live, following them around and things like that. So really, really, really wild stuff. And I look forward to continue looking into this story in the future, because as of right now, it's been weeks straight. I'm not so sure about tonight, but I know last night they were flying over New Jersey. And it's like every night we're getting more and more videos and more photos, which, like I've explained in the past, it's obvious that these things aren't trying to hide. They're not trying to hide. They're not trying to be a secret. So I guess we got to take whatever clues and little information we have and start putting, two and two together here, because the FBI and the U.S. military is failing at their job, when it comes to figuring out what these things are. And for them to continue saying that this is not a threat, these things pose no threat, I'm not buying it. Who knows what these things could be releasing in the atmosphere, in the air, all types of stuff. But for now, let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.